under fire Potter. This is back of the mail this morning. Under fire Potter feels bloated squad is ruining training. So Graham Potter reportedly believes that his training methods are being negatively impacted by a 31 first team squad, 31-man first team squad. So nearly £600 million has been spent on Chelsea. That's since Todd Bowley's taken over. 8 players arrived in January. He apparently does 11v11s, and the difficulty of leaving some of those players out is affecting it. What do you think, Ali? In all seriousness, can you ever have too many players?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, of course you can. And it looks as though he's got it. What he's going to have to do is get his squad down to about 18 or 20 and just work with it. You need backup in case of suspensions and injuries. I get all that. But the more players you got, the more things have been through. He's going to have to sit down, pick what he thinks is maybe his best squad for its 2022 players, and just work with them. And just say to the guys, look, this is my squad. This is what I need. This is what I'm going to do. Because I've always got players in his squad that he, for whatever reason, doesn't fancy or thinks he won't use unless it's an emergency of an emergency, but it looks of things with 31 players. So, yeah.
I was listening. Sorry to interrupt, Ali. Sorry, I thought you were done.
That's all
right. There's a slight delay. I was listening to in a press conference the other day, Ali, and he was saying he was comparing his job to Mikel Arteta as well, and saying like a lot of people were calling for Mikel Arteta's head back in. Do you remember when they lost those 3 opening games? Brentford, City, Chelsea, I think it was actually. And I was just wondering, one thing, if you keep that comparison going, is that Arteta has done the stripping, right, and got rid of the deadwood. Is that what Chelsea desperately need to do? Not just to thin the squad out, but also to get rid of players that might not be.
100%, 100%. But Deadwood, I think it's slightly different. I think Arsenal, the changes had to be made because there was a decay in that squad with players, and he knew what he had to do, and he had to get rid of a few. I'm not sure it's a decay in the Chelsea squad, but I certainly think he needs to get rid of 7-8 players, and he needs to work with his squad moving forward. I mean, I said to you yesterday, that back four at the weekend, James and Silva, Koulibaly and Chilwell, dear me, I mean, that's a serious back four. Serious back four. So you take that, you maybe take another 3 or 4 defenders. You know, you've got your squad about 20 players, whatever it'll be, and you work with it. So, I mean, it's a bizarre thing to say, and I'm not going to sit here and say I sympathise with him because he's got 31 players, far from it. But he's going to have to know what his squad he wants to work with. He needs to know his best team. You know, the top teams very, very seldom change their team. Look at Arsenal this season, for example. You could almost, say the start 11 every week if it's fit, and it gives them a balance, and it gives them, a sense of everybody knowing their job and a continuation, if you like. Chelsea have absolutely not got anything like that. City changed it a little bit as well, when he leaves De Bruyne out at Spurs is a strange. But that's one or two players. That's one or two. I mean, we're talking about a squad of 31 here, dear me, and no real centre forward at the moment. I don't think.
I'm reading Sammy Mokbel's piece actually in the Mail, which is where he breaks down all the different numbers. And interestingly, he does this comparison. He says, is it fair for Potter to demand to be given the same time as Arteta? And one thing that he actually mentions here is the player buy-in. So he says Arteta focused on introducing togetherness to the fractured club that he took over. Sources say that he had an aura which helped convince players that he was a manager worth believing in. There have been concerns about whether some Chelsea stars have bought into Potter in the same way, although he is also well liked as a person. So does that, like with players when you're going in, and I get what he's talking about. There was almost like a click at Arsenal, wasn't there? They needed to get out and move on.
Yeah, right. And Arteta's been given the time, and it's great, and so he should have. And he's turned it around. The team are looking well. I absolutely hate, and I never use that word, hate, I don't like that word, but the term he's lost the dressing room or the players aren't playing for him, that just it makes me so angry. Players aren't playing for the manager. How about playing for yourself? How about playing for the team? How about playing for your family? You know, so I don't
And
buy
your
into.
contract.
Yeah, I don't buy into all that nonsense at all. It really does. I don't like that term at all. But you have to say, I mean, the figures are not good at all regarding Chelsea. And you got to say he's under pressure. Of course he is.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.